Always keep my MetaHealth bars handy. It's my favorite bar, hands down.
From the makers of Metamucil, new multi-health MetaHealth bars have natural psyllium fiber that helps promote heart health with a taste consumers prefer.
Would you like one of these instead?
Yummy.
When you compare the top speed of DSL from the phone company with the top speed of Comcast Business Internet, well, there's really no comparison. Why pay more for less? Call today for a low price on speeds up to 150 megabits per second and find out more about our 2-year price guarantee. Comcast Business, built for business.
$6704 for a free buyer's guide. That's 1-800-805-6704.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back. It's time now for your tropical update.
Dr. Greg Postel is at the expert desk in our weather lab this morning. Greg, I know we got stuff in the Pacific to talk about and way out into the Atlantic, but right off the southeastern coast, we got a mess of rain, and people want to know, is that anything to worry about?
No, but you know what? It's going to bring bad weather, right? It's going to have rain showers and it's a kind of a cool northeasterly breeze along the southeast coast. So it's not good beach weather, and the waves may be up a little bit, but this is not strictly tropical development there. That's good news. So it's more of a traditional low pressure center moving northward, kind of like a nor'easter in a weak sense. Let's have now a look at the Pacific. We have Tropical Storm Polo, and this is a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. This is good news. It's a lot weaker than it's been in the last couple of days. We're at 50 on the winds, and there's the center of circulation right about there, and the thunderstorms, for the most part, are leaning off to the left. They're on the left side of that circulation, meaning there's some strong winds coming at it like that. That strong wind aloft or wind shear is going to likely weaken this thing as it moves on its westward course. Here we can track it out and showing you that Cabo, probably at closest approach, is going to be somewhere between 150 and 200 miles away from the center, but still they will be probably grazed by some showers and maybe some gusty winds. But really the odds of a tropical storm force wind over 40 miles per hour is only about 5 or 10%. So that's much different than it was a week ago with Odile. Now let's turn our attention over to the eastern Atlantic. There is an area of disturbed weather that had some 30% chance a couple days ago of developing into something, a cluster of thunderstorms out here near the Cape Verde Islands. But the odds have gone down considerably. NHC, the Hurricane Center, now is down to 10% on this. So that's good news there. And then let's look at really the disparity between the Pacific and the Atlantic, because we know it's been really active in the Pacific and basically quiet in the Atlantic. And here are the numbers that show you we've had 12 tropical storms and 5 hurricanes in the East Pac for a total of 17 storms out that way. 5 storms in the Atlantic, 1 tropical storm, and 4 hurricanes. Now, there's been a large disparity in atmospheric conditions aloft that have sort of made this story consistent. And what we've seen a lot of is aloft near the jet stream level, lots of divergence aloft here over the East Pacific. And that has sort of helped promote rising motion on a large scale and thunderstorm development and tropical development as well out that way. On the contrary, in the Atlantic, we've had convergence aloft on a sort of broad scale, more so than average, and that has tended to suppress thunderstorm development. So, Jen, when you kind of look at that picture, you know, it's pretty clear that one side has been more active than the other. And the question is it going to remain that way? And there are some signs that maybe the Gulf of Mexico in about a week to 10 days will get a little bit unsettled. Stay tuned for that. I'll talk about that at 20 past the hour.
See a little green on that map here, Greg. So
yeah, see the green in the Gulf?
I do see the green. All right. So that's still to come. That's a long tease. But let's do my favorite segment, Name That Cloud. Remember that TV show, game show? Name That Tune?
Name That Tune, yes.
I can name this cloud in 2 puffs. All right. Let's Let's see what the first cloud picture is. And
now, we don't know what these are going to be.
No, yeah, our producer likes to surprise us. Yeah. So some of the clouds coming in. This has been a favorite to analyze today. This is from last night. Lancaster, Minnesota. Kevin Mahoney, thank you for snapping this picture and letting us share it with our viewers here. That was an amazing one, and we skirted right by it, Greg.
Oh, we did.
We did.
So,
we did.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. All right.
Okay, now,
all right. This is a supercell thunderstorm. So draw the shelf cloud.
Okay, the shelf cloud is right in there. That cloud right there, which is kind of the leading edge of what you call the RFD, the rear flank downdraft.
The rear flank downdraft, right? Okay, so I think your telestration isn't showing up.
It's not showing up on this graphic.
That's okay, but you see this clearing area right here. This is actually the dry air, coming down here out of the thunderstorm and sort of pushing everything forward.
And there's a tornado there right now, and you know what? This RFD is actually important in tornado production because it helps generate the spin at different levels, and that can get sort of stretched in the updraft of a thunderstorm.
All right, so you can see the tornado right there. This is an amazing shot. You can see all the rain back over there, and you just really see the whole structure of this storm cloud.
Awesome.
All right, we'll have more Name That Cloud coming up next hour, and of course we'll have more on your weekend weather after this very short break.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Deadly flooding across the southwest. What's left of Hurricane Odile wreaking havoc. Flooded roads and neighborhoods evacuated, and this system isn't going away anytime soon.
It was like being a refugee.
Tourists are still trapped in Baja under horrifying conditions. People there arming themselves with machetes to ward off looters. We're hearing some of their stories of survival this morning.
And we need your help. We want to see your cloud pictures like this one, which is over, I believe, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Hopefully we can get to the picture. All right, we don't have that picture, but we do have some cloud pictures that we want to show you, and that's going to be coming up in our edition of Name That Cloud. Well, good morning and welcome into Weather Center Live. It is Saturday, September 20th. I'm Alex Wallace.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. And Alex, our top story this morning is still Odile. It's been 7 days, and this system continues to be a problem, right, Alex?
Yeah, it sure is. In fact, in New Mexico, Odile, well, it's being blamed for the death of an oil field worker. Officials say 2 men got caught driving through floodwaters near the town of Loving yesterday. Now, they climbed on top of the car, but both got swept away. The passenger was able to get to safety. Flooding also forced about 30 people in the area to evacuate. And sad news to report this morning in the search for a missing deputy in Austin, Texas. The body of Senior Deputy Jessica Hollis was found yesterday afternoon, not far from her stranded patrol car that had been washed away by flash floods on Thursday. She was heard calling over the radio for help when the water started to rise.
I've heard about the floodwaters, but I've never experienced anything like this before. Jessica was a strong swimmer. So that goes to show you that a strong swimmer is no competition with fast moving water.
Now, the Austin area got 5 to 7 inches of rain. That was on Thursday alone, and well, all from the remnants of Odile. So we still have moisture hanging around parts of the southwest, particularly New Mexico, into Texas out there. So there's the potential for more heavy rain. So let's track this activity. We've certainly seen it over the past 24 hours or so. Check out some of the totals here for you. Cloverdale, New Mexico, picking up 4.3 inches of rain. Anderson Mill in Texas, almost 4 1/4. There in Austin over the last 24 hours, 3.69 inches. And in Briarcliff, Texas, 3 1/4 there. So you get the picture again. It's New Mexico, Texas. That has been sort of the hot zone, and we're still finding it now here into Texas. This is Midland here as you work your way along Interstate 20 over towards Abilene. Just north of that, look at that particular storm. Not moving much at all. This is a loop of the radar over the last hour or so, and again, not moving. And I actually went back about 6 hours, and we've been seeing this over the same spot. So that has led to a flash flood warning. You get that kind of rain coming down over the same area for so long, flash flooding can occur, and we've got a warning in Borden and Scurry counties here in Texas until 10 o'clock local time. Watch out ponding on these roads. They'll be occurring out there for you. You want to turn around, find another route to take. The motto is turn around, don't drown. And we'll be watching these areas again as we head through the day. We've got the moisture out there, the water vapor imagery showing you in the middle levels of the atmosphere we have some moisture indicated by sort of the milky and white color streaming across parts of New Mexico into Texas. You get a little heating of the day going, and we get the showers and storms. That could lead to some flash flooding. We already have that warning there in Texas, and we could see more from Lubbock back down towards the Hobbs area, the Pecos area as well. You could be dealing with flash flooding as we progress through the day. Now, what's happening? We've got a bit of a frontal boundary just sort of hanging out there. That'll add to some lift in the atmosphere, help to lift some of this moisture that's streaming in from both the Gulf and the Pacific. So as that warm moisture begins to rise, we get the clouds to form and eventually the thunderstorms. And then on top of that, we get another thing that could lift that warmer moisture, an upper level disturbance out there. So showers and storms, it's a pretty good bet that we'll find it. And it's not just today. We'll be watching this activity for our tomorrow and Jen as we head on into next week.
And it's not the only game in town, too. We've got some thunderstorms that we need to show you where they're going to occur today. Yesterday, it was Minnesota, Lancaster, Minnesota. Kevin Mahoney snapped this shot of a supercell thunderstorm, and you can see the lowering beneath it. That's a tornado there, that dark wedge that you see coming down towards the ground. That tornado did cause some minor damage to homes and farms in the area. But this is really a classic supercell thunderstorm, and you can see the shelf cloud associated with it. You can actually see in that clearing area on the left-hand side the rear flank downdraft, and we're going to talk more about this and name that cloud this morning. That's our favorite segment on the Weather Channel. You'll see that at about 50 minutes past the hour. Now, let's take a look at the risk for severe weather today. So we've got Minnesota actually again in the red zone, but there's some other spots to watch, and I'll show you where. We're looking at some showers out there right now in Iowa. Most of what was in Wisconsin has fallen apart. Still have some storms in southwestern Iowa, north or southeastern Nebraska, but these, for the most part, too, have been weakening. Just this one little area south of Omaha holding together. Now, we go over up into northern lower Michigan, right over the Mackinac Bridge, actually, is where it seems to be raining the worst right now, but at least the areas of rain have been shrinking in size. That's going to change through the day today as we get the more moisture returning to the area. Dew points are going to go up, and you'll feel it when you step outside this afternoon compared to this morning. It's going to feel more humid, a little more spring-like. It'll probably smell like it might rain. You know that smell, right? The smell of rain coming. We're going to see some storms on the move today out ahead of our cold front, and we're going to time them out because there is the risk that they could be severe with damaging winds along with the threat for hail and, of course, lightning. And it's a Saturday, so we know lots of people are outside. We've got that risk of storms extending into this evening as well and overnight tonight, including in lower Michigan, where in Ann Arbor at the Big House, we've got Michigan Wolverines home hosting the Utah Utes, and thunderstorms are in the forecast. So let me show you how it all times out for us today. We've got that risk of storms in Chicago, in Springfield, in lower Michigan, later afternoon into the early evening. In Chicago, it's between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., your biggest risk for storms. Alex.
Well, you know, it has been nearly a week since Hurricane Odile slammed into Cabo San Lucas, and thousands of tourists still trying to get out. And we're taking you to Mexico next to hear from people trapped by the storm, see what's being done to get them home and their harrowing conditions that they are facing.
Time for a shakecation. It's the summer of shakes.
Peter, say hello to the Grand Marshal of the National Ice Cream Cone Day Parade.
Oh, okay, hello. There's no such thing as that. There's just half-price cones today.
But there could be such a thing as a parade. You would probably like that.
No, I don't like parades.
Okay. Pete said there's no parade. Parade's off.
Well, I didn't realize everybody
No, you said no parade.
Maybe we could squeeze in a little parade.
We're back on!
Celebrate National Ice Cream Cone Day with half-price ice cream cones on September 22nd. This is how you Sonic.
Head to the Sonic nearest you.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side. We used to have so many empty rolls. It felt like we were flushing money away. Mom! That's why we switched to Charmin Ultra Mega Roll. It's Charmin quality and long-lasting. With more goes per roll, it pays to use Charmin Ultra Mega Roll.
Charmin Ultra Mega Roll is 75% more absorbent, so you can use less with every go. Plus, it even lasts longer than the leading 1000 sheet brand.
For us, Mega Roll equals mega value. Cha-ching! We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin Ultra Mega Roll?
There's only 2 episodes of Fat Guys in the Woods left.
Yeah, let's do this.
Sunday night at 10. The Weather Channel's taking a family of fat guys into the weather.
The only thing that we do have in common at this point is we're starving. You see it? Possum in a tree. This should be interesting.
Fat Guys in the Woods. Catch an all-new episode Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend, American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
Our pets bring out the best in us. And at Petco, we do what we can to bring out the best in them. With options like Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Now 10% off for a limited time. Because when our companions live well, so do we. Petco.
I was in Iraq 10 years ago for 4 months with the Air Force, and this doesn't even compare to that. I thought that was crazy, very rewarding, but crazy. This takes the cake.
That's how tourists trapped in Cabo San Lucas are describing their ordeal. Local officials say looting is rampant and they're running out of food and water.
Yeah, it's been nearly a week since Hurricane Odile struck the Baja coast in Mexico, and we're just starting to hear their stories because, well, they've been literally cut off from the world. No cell phone service, no electricity, and no internet service.
Power has been restored to only about 20% of customers. In the last 48 hours, more than 18,000 tourists have been evacuated.
Now, for people stuck in Cabo San Lucas after ordeal, well, the past week has been an ordeal.
NBC's Joe Fryer is in Cabo this morning with a look at the troubles still facing people there today.
This popular destination perched on a peninsula is no longer a magnet for tourists.
Cabo's destroyed, completely destroyed. There's nothing left.
A swift punch by Hurricane Odile was felt up and down the coast, a night Lauren Van Horn won't forget.
Really horrifying. It's a really high-pitched whistle and lots of banging noises as things are flying and hitting. We could hear pieces of the roof falling off, being ripped off.
At a private airport, hangars were leveled and planes twisted like aluminum cans. After major looting this week, the police and military now stand guard over stores and gas stations. Power is out, resorts are closed, and tourists are fleeing. Van Horn waited in line for 6 hours at the airport before catching a flight to Los Angeles.
We were on a Delta plane that fit about 150 passengers, and it was amazing to see them and get on that plane.
Throughout the week, tens of thousands of tourists have come here to the Los Cabos airport looking for a way out. Now, finally, the long lines here have vanished as those looking to escape have been evacuated by plane.
We're going home.
After catching flights on military and commercial aircraft, many tourists returned home to the United States. Nick and Ashton Forsyth are back in Chicago, and the first thing they'll do...
hug the kids. Hugs and not let go.
We're here at the airport, which was hit hard by the hurricane. This is the kind of damage we've seen just about everywhere we've gone. But here at the airport, some good news. It appears nearly all of the international tourists, including Americans who are trying to fly out of this battered paradise, have been evacuated. However, we just ran into a small group of 4 people who say they are still trying to catch a flight today to get back to Sacramento. Back to you.
It's unbelievable, and especially if you are the people here in the U.S. waiting for your loved ones to come back from Cabo, how excruciating that wait must be.
Yeah, and tough to even communicate with them.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. I mean, you try to go on vacation and you try to put all worries behind you, and you have to deal with that.
And you can't even charge your cell phone. I mean, so you can't, I mean, we're so tied to that, right? It's amazing. And Alex, some of the video reminded me of after Haiyan in the Philippines last year. Remember how it looked like tornado damage almost, and you see some of these big power lines just completely down. I mean, really strong winds came through with this.
Exactly. And again, it's just a rough situation they're having to deal with there. And we know we've got another system just to the south, and you never want to hear about another potential system. The good news here right now is we track of Polo, which is to the south of Cabo San Lucas. It should stay south and then move towards the north and the west and weaken as it does so, but still could bring a few showers here for you as we work our way through the day. We'll generally have winds out of the east, anywhere from 15, maybe up to 20 miles per hour out there with temperatures in the 80s.
Now, it is not just Polo that we're watching this morning. There are 2 more systems that we are keeping our eyes on in the tropics, and storm specialist Greg Postel will join us next to tell us what we can expect in the coming week as hurricane season keeps on going. Plus, we've got a look at your weekend plans. Let's take a look at the ColorFest Balloon Rally in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Wow, this looks nice. We got temperatures in the upper 70s, a few puffy clouds out there this afternoon.
And we work our way into Monterey, California, the 57th annual Jazz Fest. You like a little jazz? You like some nice weather? Perfect for you there.
Now you can merge the physical freedom of the car with the virtual freedom of Wi-Fi. Chevrolet, the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Hi, Mom.
You made it.
It's the new independence.
Why is it smart to talk to farmers for your auto insurance? Because we believe that doing things right is more important than just doing them fast. And because we don't want you to miss out on things like accident forgiveness, where we forgive an accident every 3 years without raising your rates. Talk to farmers and get the coverage you want, not just the coverage that's fast.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call us today at 1-800-FARMERS.
Claritin D presents 2 allergy sufferers. One tried Nasacort, which could take up to a week to feel maximum nasal symptom relief. The other took Claritin D, which starts to work on allergies in 30 minutes. The moral, nothing works faster than Claritin D.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavor's fully developed to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
When we got married, we were suddenly a family of 5.
And a seriously mixed bag of laundry.
And we don't always have the time or the money to wash everyone's jeans and towels and gym clothes separately. So we wash everything in cold water with Tide, and it all comes out great. Even Sarah's funky new shorts.
Those are mine.
Really?
No. Yes.
Just 1 cap of Tide has the cleaning power as 6 caps of the Bargain brand, even in cold.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Let's get weather geeky this morning.
Make AM.
The world you've been waiting for is here. Come and live it. Amazing memories are within reach at a Universal Orlando Resort Hotel. Universal Orlando Resort. Vacation like you mean it.
When you compare the top speed of DSL from the phone company with the top speed of Comcast Business Internet, well, there's really no comparison. Why pay more for less? Call today for a low price on speeds up to 150 megabits per second. And find out more about our 2-year price guarantee. Comcast Business, built for business.
Call 1-800-815-5812. Online at drchipper.com.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. You know, the United Nations issued a challenge to the Weather Channel, and we accepted it.
It's not an ice bucket challenge either. They asked us to create a weather forecast for a date far in the future, September 23rd, 2050. Have you seen it? Well, now the world is reacting to it. What do our greatest weather minds say concerns them the most? How are the nation's military strategists reacting to our perception of the year 2050? You can find out Monday at 7 Eastern. The Weather Channel combines our resources, knowledge, and forecasting ability to address what the world's weather will be like decades from now. Weather 2050, a special edition of Weather Center Live, is Monday at 7 p.m.
All right, well, it's time now for your tropical update.
Dr. Greg Postel is in our weather lab with the latest on Tropical Storm Polo, Greg, which is just too close to the Baja of California. I know it has people nervous.
Yeah, I mean, it is too close. You're absolutely right. I mean, they just went through a horrible experience with Odile. Good news here with Polo is that it's much weaker and probably going to be much farther away. So the impacts will be minimal, I think. Here's the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center. It's a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving toward the northwest at about 7 miles per hour. That means it's kind of going that way, but then it's probably going to turn even more toward the west later on today. I think at closest approach, the center will be about 150 to 200 miles away from Cabo. Probably tonight or tomorrow morning. That may be close enough to bring some showers and some gusty winds from time to time between now and then. But I think the odds of even tropical storm winds, 40 miles per hour or more, are only at 5 to 10%. So really, impacts will be so insignificant compared to what they were with Odile, and that's good news. Let's now look at the Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea. There's some scattered high clouds here, but really, guys, it is relatively quiet out here right now. Is it going to stay that way? I don't think so. I think things will percolate a little bit anyway in the tropics in the next week to 10 days. And the models are kind of showing you a pattern that's beginning to emerge in about a week that has a couple of distinct features here in a very broad scale fashion. We've got a couple of dips in the jet stream, or a couple of, I should say, branches of the jet stream. One up here bringing some high pressure to the Ohio Valley in New England, but another one kind of sneaking underneath it with a little bit of a dip across parts of Mexico, maybe the southern part of the United States. And that may be associated with a broad area of low pressure in the next week to 10 days. Now, this is kind of in a broad averaged view. It's way too early to plan for details of this, but the idea is that a lot of the models have come to this sort of idea that pressures will be falling a little bit next weekend and maybe some stormy weather, perhaps even on the Gulf Coast. So stay tuned for all the latest. Guys, back to you.
Greg, thank you. Now we're going to take you over the next 7 days, and we'll look at the Northeast to start. New York City got some nice puffy cumulus and a little bit of stratocumulus clouds out there. Still temperatures in the 60s. We got a nice day today. Next 7 days, we do have a front that's going to come through. So let's track it for you into the Northeast, where we've got today really the Midwest here under the gun for severe weather. 2 red zones. One, we've got really 2 upper level disturbances in the jet stream diving in, one here into Minnesota, the other one going to energize our front coming into the Great Lakes region today. So from Chicago to Detroit, afternoon to evening, we've got storms coming your way. Could bring damaging winds and hail. And tomorrow we see the same front on the move heading into the Northeast. So is western New York, western Pennsylvania, West Virginia. As the front comes through the south, what you'll notice is temperatures come up a bit, humidity up a little bit as well, but it won't have a lot of juice with it. Most of the energy will be in the Northeast, so it'll come through pretty quietly. Northeast front comes through overnight, Sunday into Monday, but then we have just a few showers hanging around western New York and northern New England by Monday. And then our attention goes to this next round of rain. Still rainy in New Mexico, and I know we're still going to be tracking some flooding concerns by next Monday. But then by Tuesday, that lifts out, and it lifts out into the Central Plains. This, our next weather maker, heading through the Midwest on Wednesday. You'll see some showers out there all the way up into Minnesota. But then by Thursday, the bulk of the energy actually pulling up into Canada. We'll see a couple of showers off the southeast coast. The Northwest is the next spot to really watch for some active weather, and you'll see some rain out here in the Northwest for a couple of days, maybe even down into Northern California, and that would be nice to see, especially with the fire danger we have going on, and especially, of course, with the drought. But otherwise, by next Friday, you see a lot of the country is going to be fairly quiet, including pretty comfortable in the Northeast. Alex.
All right, well, let's get you in front of some of the big weather stories. And, well, it includes the severe weather threat across parts of the Midwest. We'll be watching these areas in the red. Then we've got more rain for parts of the southern tier of the country, particularly as we work our way to Texas and New Mexico. And then the heat, we're getting bakingly hot here. It's going to be a scorcher for us, potential for some even record highs.
19 years ago, we thought, wow, how is there no way to tell the good from the bad? So we gave people the power of the review. And now Angie's List is revolutionizing local service again. You can easily buy and schedule services from top-rated providers. Conveniently stay up to date on progress and effortlessly turn your photos into finished projects with our SnapFix app. Visit angieslist.com today.
Thought it'd be bigger.
There's nothing I can't reach in my Subaru.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
She's still the one for you, and Cialis for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment is right. Cialis is also the only daily ED tablet approved to treat symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
You know, millions of people have saved with Progressive, so I get invited to quite a few family gatherings. Heck, I saved Judith here a fortune with discounts like Safe Driver, Multi-Car, Paperless. You make a mighty fine Mrs. Milady. I'm not saying Mark's thrifty. Let's just say I saved him $519, and it certainly didn't go toward that ring. Am I right? So visit Progressive.com today. I call this one the Robox.
The Dueler tires on Terrence Knighton's truck are engineered to be Bridgestone's best SUV tires, and now they have an 80,000-mile tread wear warranty.
Guess we're gonna be here a while.
First time on a treadmill?
What are you saying?
I'm just saying.
Right now, buy 4 Bridgestone tires, including the Dueler HL Alenza Plus, and get a $70 Bridgestone Visa prepaid card by mail. It's game on with Bridgestone at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
New information on deadly flooding in Texas this morning. More people in danger of swift rising waters today. How much more rain can Texas take?
You know, honestly, it was horrific.
Weary tourists line up to get out of Cabo and other devastated towns along the Baja Peninsula. No food, no power. Well, this morning, we're hearing their horror stories now that we're able to hear from them at all.
And airlines are helping people get out today, but why they even go into places like Cabo in the first place? With Odile bearing down, we'll look at how those decisions get made when a weather disaster is headed towards popular vacation destinations.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Wallace.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. And along with dealing with the remnants of Odile, we also have the threat for severe weather today. One of those spots is Detroit. So let's say good morning to you and then break down your forecast. We have a very nice start to your day here looking out over the river in Detroit. But storms are heading your way. We're going to time them out. And we are going to notice, Alex, temperatures going up, dew points going up, all going to feed into this thunderstorm threat.
Things looking tranquil and nice now, but doesn't mean that's going to last forever. In fact, the storms for the weekend out there for us in the Midwest could pack a bit of a punch. Now, right now, some downpours here and there across parts of Iowa into southeastern Nebraska, starting to now get into far northwestern sections of Missouri. You can see this storm we've been following it south of Omaha right now. That's sort of working its way right down Interstate 29. There's the St. Joseph area. Quiet now, but we'll see if this can hold together and make its way into your neck of the woods. A little bit farther on off towards the north and the east, we've been following some of this rain here in far northern Michigan around Mackinac City. You've been wet over the last couple of hours, and you're still dealing with it. Another little batch of rain with some heavy downpours and lightning set to move on in. So here's the sort of pattern that we're in for the day and what's happening. Got a bit of a dip in the jet stream, a trough that's trying to march its way on through the area. Out ahead of that, we've got some moisture flowing north out of the south, and that moist air is going to get lifted up by this cold frontal boundary and help to spark off more of those showers and storms as it spreads towards the south and the east. So let's time things out as we head through the rest of our Saturday. There's your timestamp right around 11 o'clock or so. Could see some storms around the Chicagoland area. Notice Detroit still looking pretty good for the early part of the day, but then there's some of those storms late afternoon and into the evening, and another little batch of storms may sneak into the upper Midwest as another disturbance comes in. So Minneapolis this afternoon, early evening, you may have to deal with that. And again, some of these storms could be a bit strong to severe. Anywhere that's in that sort of red outlined area from Kansas City up into lower Michigan, and right in the middle of that would be Chi-Town. We're thinking the worst of it's going to be generally between 2 to 8 o'clock here for you. Looking for heavy downpours, lightning issues, and the potential for some damaging winds. Jen?
Well, it is day 7, and Americans who survived Hurricane Odile are still trying to escape the Baja Peninsula of Mexico. Food, water, electricity are scarce this morning in tourist towns like Cabo San Lucas. It's a frightening ending to a week that began with Hurricane Odile wiping out their hotels and the airport.
This was an extremely ferocious hurricane, very unusual for the Baja California Peninsula.
Hurricane Odile lashing Cabo San Lucas.
Just in the last 15 minutes, things have gotten very violent. The wind was whistling for an hour or two. Now it's increased to roar. The big glass doors are sort of rattling and bobbing. The hotel staff have pushed sofas in front of the doors to keep them from blowing into the lobby. People are sort of running from the doors and windows. The building's shaking. A lot of windows are about to go, and it just escalated very quickly.
And around 10, the storm started to peak, and the front entrance of the hotel just like caved in, and a big window blew out, and it was like, whoa.
11 o'clock at night, the shutters on the house were moving.
And then around 11:45, the backside, that back eye wall just swept over us, and just like that, it just went from 0 to 100, I mean, in like no time. And there were all these like banging sounds, and all of a sudden, boom. All of us were just scattering like rats, jumping under furniture into bathrooms. I mean, just trying to like do anything to get out of the way.
The next day when we went out and we saw all the hotels along the beach, every single one of them, all the ones that had glass, were all blown in. I mean, cars were upside down, and it looked like an atomic bomb hit the place.
Cabo San Lucas has never been tested this way, with reliable records going back to the 1940s.
Cabo's destroyed, completely destroyed. There's nothing left.
That was a tough situation, stuck in that airport for 24, 48 hours, sleeping on the floor, elderly people fainting, children just having a hard time. I mean, this is really serious stuff, and people starting to get really angry.
We just they're so happy to be out of there. It seemed like we were there forever.
I miss my home, and I'm going home.
Up there on the kind of fear factor, it was up there. It was one of the worst. It had an explosive quality that I haven't seen in many other hurricanes.
Wow, and I tell you, when you hear those accounts, it is amazing that no one died in those hotels when Odile made that landfall. However, all the rain from Odile did create deadly flash floods, and we're just learning this morning about an oil field worker in New Mexico who died yesterday. Now, he tried climbing onto the top of his car when he got stuck in high water, but was swept away. And sadly, the law enforcement community of Austin, Texas, they're mourning this weekend. The body of 35-year-old senior deputy Jessica Hollis was found not far from her stranded patrol car that had been washed away by the flash floods near Austin. She was heard from over her radio calling for help when the water started to rise. And just to underscore just how dangerous these situations are, well, Deputy Hollis was a member of the department's dive team. So even highly trained swimmers are still vulnerable in these floods. Jen?
And we still have the threat for more rain. Flood watches continue through this evening in the southwest. The heavy rain continues at this time. And you can see from our Doppler radar estimates where you see these bright pinks and reds. This is where we've had some of the biggest rain, but widespread. We've had some reports of 2 to 3, if not even 4 inches of rain. It's causing problems on some of the highways over here. And what you'll notice as we put the radar into motion is that these storms are not going anywhere. They're staying in the same spot, and that gives us the risk of flooding. Too much rain in one spot at one time. Borden, Scurry County, flash flood warning until 10 o'clock. The reason this is happening is that it's a combination of things. You, of course, have that old moisture from Odile, but really, this old front is one of the big problems. And the moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico and from the Pacific side, plus an upper level low that is, or upper level disturbance, I should say, that is going to help exacerbate the thunderstorm risk right here. It's going to keep us wet. And so we'll see showers and storm chances today and tomorrow. West Texas, eastern New Mexico, all the way up into the Texas Panhandle, maybe parts of Oklahoma, right up here, though, into Colorado. You're going to see the moisture surging up through this area right into Monday. And rainfall is going to be on the order of 1 to 2 inches, which is why, of course, we have those flash flood watches that have already been posted for West Texas. Alex.
Well, meanwhile, in Florida, more than 10,000 bikers are expected to make the trip to Key West this weekend. Now, it's all to raise money for a charity poker tournament. Look at the likes of these folks who have already made their way down there. And check out some of these bikes. Like that one. That's a pretty cool one. Now, hopefully, it won't get rained on this weekend. The question is, who's going to have, well, some of the worst weather here for us as we head through this start of the weekend? Well, if you don't like heat, this is a spot. And we're going to count it down at number 5, starting off in Medford, Oregon. Ugh, triple digits, 100 degrees out there. Your average is 82, so well above that. In fact, the record, 98 degrees, could top that mark. Meanwhile, number 4, it's storms that we're having to deal with. We've been talking about this cold front moving through the Midwest. Well, in Milwaukee, it could impact you with some storms, so be on the lookout for that. And at number 3, it's another location that may have to deal with some storms thanks to that cold front. Grand Rapids, temps in the low 70s. Temperature's not too bad, but that risk for some storms. And then coming in at number 2, we take you to the southeast coast. This is Savannah, Georgia. We've got this blob of shower and thunderstorm activity. It's going to skirt the coast and keep us a little unsettled. How about number 1? We'll talk about it after the break.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
I get goosebumps when I find a low price.
I let him know every time I save $1.
Every time.
Now there's a tool made for you. Introducing Savings Catcher from Walmart. It compares prices to top stores in your area.
No more driving all over town.
If there's a lower advertised price, Walmart will give you the difference on an e-gift card.
Oh, money!
Every penny counts. Yep. Try the Savings Catcher for yourself. Go to walmart.com/savingscatcher and enter your receipt. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop.
Let's go base, shark, blitz.
Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Block like this, on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200.
America's import.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Nexium, the purple pill, is now available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Because the best moments in life aren't experienced from the sidelines. Now, there's nothing holding you back. This is Nexium Level Protection, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, now without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
We're the places you call home when you're away from home. 12 brands, more hotels than anyone else in the world. Like Wyndham, we're awaiting your arrival. Save up to 25% and earn bonus points when you book at WyndhamRewards.com.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
Ice cream for everyone! Ha! For me too!
Half-price ice cream cones on September 22nd. This is how you Sonic.
Well, today's the day we talk about who's going to have the best and worst weather. And, well, Jen Carfagno got a chance to talk about who has the best weather. She had a lot of sunny icons on her maps. Well, I had to tackle the worst. And we've got one sunny icon, Medford, but it's because it's so hot. Worst weather there. And then we head to Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, and Savannah, where we've got the risk for thunderstorms in these areas. Who's at #1 on the worst weather for the day list? Midland, Texas. Yeah, we've been contending with rain over the last couple of days. The chance again for our Saturday, so we'll have to watch out for that. Jen?
All right, Alex, thank you. Now, we want to talk about the escape from Baja. We are on day 6 of this escape, and we've got thousands of foreigners, many including Americans, are finally being rescued after surviving Hurricane Odile Sunday night. While their families are anxiously awaiting their arrival back here at home this weekend, anger is mounting over how so many ended up in the eye of the storm to begin with. Now, we've heard from relatives upset with airlines specifically. Why did they allow flights to continue into Cabo, knowing Odile was on the way to the Baja Peninsula? Of course, hindsight is 20/20, but it got us thinking, whose responsibility do you think it is when a weather disaster is brewing? So we're going to explore this topic, and joining me now is retired airline captain Jim Tillman. Jim, thank you for joining us this morning. I know that you've flown into some pretty tough conditions in your career, from the military to the airlines. Would you have flown into Cabo last weekend?
Yes, because I would have been relying on a lot of history that would tell me that it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as it turned out to be. I think that's part of what happened. But then again, you know, the business of canceling flights is very complex. I mean, you've got to consider the fact that how much money does it cost to cancel one single flight. And that decision is based upon 3 things, actually: safety, comfort, and schedule.
And no doubt, this can't possibly go into the decision, but people don't like their flight to be canceled. They want to go where they are planning to go. And, you know, I can't imagine that can truly factor into the decision, but I know it hangs out there in the balance. So let's talk about those 3 things, you know, safety, of course, the cost involved. How do you assess safety when it comes to a rapidly strengthening storm like this? You know, we don't see this kind of situation very often. And like you said, we don't have that experience to really call on.
Well, we don't, and as you know, perhaps better than anybody, hurricanes are only so predictable. You know, I mean, we had times in the past where that we have looked at a forecast about where the hurricane is going to strike and where the outer bands are going to be and everything else, and then the hurricane decides that, well, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to make a right turn and go someplace else. So you end up canceling a flight, or many of them, And that's very expensive for an airline. I mean, you have to realize passengers don't like it. But if you talk with the bean counters at the airlines, they really, truly don't like to have an airplane that's not flying, and what they do have is flying, there are no passengers. So we look at a lot of different factors when we talk about canceling. It's a very serious thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, airlines also catch a lot of flack these days when it comes to the canceling of flights. But the decision, isn't it really a matter of personal responsibility, too, on the part of the passengers? They didn't have to choose to get on the plane to go there.
That's true. But, you make assumptions that if the airline's going, then that means it's got to be okay. I mean, so many passengers don't plan carefully. They don't watch the Weather Channel to find out what's predicted and make their own personal decisions. But, when you look at the way airlines have canceled flights through the history of the industry, when you go way back, the old school was take off, go. Mm-hmm. And when you got near your destination...
Jim, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we do have a hard break here. I really appreciate your insight. That was Jim Tillman, pilot. Thank you.
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
Under the roof of a home or business, damage can happen. When it does, turn to the specialists who put help in the palm of your hand. The Ready App and emergency response plans from 1-800-SERVPRO, like it never even happened.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
show make fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
What makes Lay's Kitchen different from the rest? We pride ourselves on bold, authentic flavors with the finest ingredients. Our vegetables are farm-grown and prepared with the passion they deserve. Tangy peppers unite with the sweetness of tomatoes and onions to create our exquisite mesquite barbecue flavor. The satisfying crunch and rich flavors of Lay's kettle-cooked chips. One taste and you're in love.
You guys are good to go? Let me just get this out here.
Unlike some places, we don't just change your oil. Our oil offer comes with a 4-tire rotation and a 27-point inspection, and everything looks great.
Actually, could you leave those in?
Sure. Want me to run them through the car wash for you, too? No, I can't.
Get our everyday price match guarantee plus a $100 rebate on 4 select tires from your tire experts. Chevy Certified Service.
This is the kind of chicken your mom would make if she hand-breaded chicken that was delivered right to her door, and if she had a pressure cooker in her kitchen, and if she knew the combination to the vault in Kentucky, where they keep Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. Yep, this is the kind of chicken she would make. But she doesn't have to. It's done.
The performance review, that corporate trial by fire when every slacker gets his due. And yet, there's someone around the office who hasn't had a performance review in a while. Someone whose poor performance is slowing down the entire organization. I'm looking at you, phone company DSL.
Go to ComcastBusiness.com/check-your-speed. If we can't offer faster speeds or save you money, we'll give you $150. Comcast Business. Built for business.
At Seaside Palm Beach, we recognize that you may have other obligations in your life. When you're here, you'll be able to bring your laptop. We encourage you to bring your phone. We don't want you disconnected from the rest of the world. Where other treatment centers will not allow you to have these things, we know that you have a life, but we're going to help you live that life better than when you came here. Your transition from chemically dependent to chemical-free will be as painless as possible. Seaside Palm Beach, please come see us.
Call 1-800-815-5812. Online at drchipper.com.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back. Time now for your tropical update.
Dr. Greg Postel is in our weather lab at the expert desk. And Greg, of course, Polo is the big story, and it is a tropical storm expected to continue to weaken, right?
Yes, exactly right, Jen. And right now it's a tropical storm, a 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm on its way toward the weakening trend out to the west, well south of Cabo San Lucas this time around. Let's look at the latest stats from the Hurricane Center. There you got it. 45 mile per hour in the wind speed, moving northwest at 8. And actually, look, you can see the center of circulation right about there. And the thunderstorms are actually displaced a little bit off to the west side, thanks to some strong winds aloft that are pushing those thunderstorms to the left. And so that setup is not one that's going to sustain itself or sustain the tropical cyclone, which is one of the reasons why this thing is weakening on its westward journey. And we can see that really on this tracking chart here, which shows the precipitation and the clouds, and there it goes on off toward the west, probably at closest approach to Cabo, somewhere about maybe 150 miles or so off, and I think that's far enough to limit the impacts. I think at most they'll have some wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour, and in fact winds over that are over 40 miles per hour. There's only probably a 5 or 10% chance of that happening. So Cabo is going to escape this one, but you know, it's been really active on the Pacific side this year and not so much on the Atlantic side. I mean, if you look right now in the far eastern Atlantic, what we've got is an area of showers and thunderstorms that, say, a few days ago had a shot at developing, but now the odds have been dramatically reduced down to about 10%. The atmosphere is just not supportive of tropical development out that far to the east. But the question is that going to change as we head toward, say, the weekend or a week from now? And the chances are that, yes, that will happen. If you look at sort of in an average picture and a pattern that is emerging from the models, that will have a split flow in the jet stream. One branch here with a nice big fat high pressure system over the Ohio Valley, and then we'll have another branch of the jet stream right in here with a little dip over Mexico, and that will lead to perhaps an area of low pressure developing in the Gulf of Mexico in about a week. Of course, guys, this is a long way out, but there's a chance, the models are showing us a sign that the broad area of low pressure will be developing over the next, say, week to 10 days or so as the system gets kind of organized with that dip in the jet stream over there. And what we're going to show you now is our favorite segment of the week.
Name that cloud.
Right.
I'm going to just say something funny. I put it on Twitter and somebody responded, Bobby. Like, the name, like Greg or Jen. Isn't that funny?
I'm a little slow on the uptake.
Yeah, no. But we're actually going to tell you what kind of clouds we're talking about. And Greg, we got some really interesting ones.
Yes,
so
Jen.
this one, the supercell.
This is a great one.
Yeah.
And we've sort of talked about this earlier, and let's talk about the pieces of it.
All right, so this is a supercell thunderstorm. It spawned a tornado. This was in Lancaster, Minnesota last night. The tornado did cause some minor damage to a farm and I think to a home in the area. There's a tornado right there. You can see the rain over here, the darkness, the shelf cloud right here.
Right, that's this piece right here. And there's some air flowing out, some dry air coming around it in front of the tornado there. And back behind here, there's all that rain. That's kind of complicated stuff, but we can maybe show you what it might look like on the radar.
Bring out the chalkboard, Dr. Professor.
Break it out.
Professor Postel.
All right, so a classic depiction of a supercell, which that was, on the radar charts, looks like kind of like a kidney bean, like about that, where you're looking down on a map, and that dark area on the picture was right out here called the forward flanking rain or downdraft. And what we were seeing, that RFD, that shelf cloud, was right out here, that rear flanking downdraft, where we had this mesocyclone swirling around here, and there was an outflow. So there's like a little bit of a cool front coming out that way. And that was the shelf cloud right in there, and the tornado would be right there. That would be the tornado was. So the picture, the guy was right here looking that way.
He had a very unique vantage point too, and you know, if you're looking at it from a radar perspective, this would be sort of the hook.
The
right?
hook.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
Crook of the hook.
Let's go back to that picture and show you the hook. There it is. This is really cool. Here's that shelf cloud. This is the hook part coming around just like this, right in here. That's the hook, right there. So
fascinating, Greg. Thank you.
Cool stuff, yeah.
All right, name that cloud. You can keep your pictures coming to us every weekend. We'll go through your cloud pictures and share with you what we see. Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Doing it old school with the chalkboard.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, you see who's joining me. We got Mark and Kate. They're coming up next. Should be a fun one, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff planned, including football.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Partly cloudy skies after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now, fans are getting fired up for today's big college football games. Thousands of tailgaters firing up their grills in stadium parking lots. The problem is, thunderstorms could fire up as well.
And some of the biggest cities in the Midwest, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Detroit in the red zone for possible severe weather. We'll lay it out so you can see how it will play out.
I was in Iraq 10 years ago for 4 months with the Air Force, and this doesn't even compare to that. I thought that was crazy, very rewarding, but crazy. This takes the cake.
And marooned in Mexico, American tourists tell how Hurricane Odile turned their dream vacation into a terrifying fight to escape from Cabo. Some using machetes to ward off looters right here, right now on Weather Center Live.
And happy Saturday to you. Welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Kate Parker.
And I'm Mark Elliott. And as you watch, we want you to send in pictures of what your weekend looks like. And
it's
to
hashtag
do that,
your weekend.
Well, yeah, to do that, you have to use the hashtag, hashtag your weekend.
Yeah, we got this picture. I got this sent in to me from Ohio. He said he is getting his gear ready for the one last boating and camping trip on Lake Erie before the hunting season begins, a sign of fall. But I love that he's well prepared. Cheers to you on being prepared. We love that. Thank you for sending in your weekend pics. We've got more of them coming to you, and I hope you keep on sending them in.
And Cub fans in Chicago keeping an eye on the sky, that's for sure, as we have been following the chance for some storms coming into play. Of course, you have a baseball game today, so people are flocking over to Wrigley. First pitch against the Los Angeles Dodgers is at 1:05 local time, where severe weather is possible. So that's something that you got to watch out for, that's for sure. As you're kind of walking through Wrigleyville right now, maybe heading over to Goose Island, watch out for those storms, because weekend storms, there is a potential here across the Midwest. Again, here's the forecast for your game. The Dodgers and the Cubs, hit or miss thunderstorms, winds out of the southwest close to 15 miles per hour. Only about a 50% chance of seeing those storms. That said, you definitely need to prepare for seeing storms, because you don't want to be stuck seeing that stormy weather coming your way. This is the line of storms that we're going to be carefully watching. As for right now, Chicago, you're fine. There's not much going on, that's for sure. But this is the line of storms across Iowa, back towards Omaha. Earlier today, we even had some severe thunderstorm warnings with that line south of Omaha. And that's why we are concerned, because as we get a little bit of daytime heating, we could see those storms firing up once again. This line of storms will be moving its way towards the east. We are seeing some brighter returns on the radar, some heavier rain in there, a little bit of lightning. But the thing is, over Chicago, you actually have a good deal of cloudiness right now, so that might protect you from seeing the worst of the weather. Jet stream is going to be doing that big dip down towards the south, picking up that moisture out ahead of it, but then ushering in the cooler air. So today, we are looking for those storms, that's for sure. The storms are going to be moving towards the south and east, scattered thunderstorms today, that's for sure. And you're in the red zone, right? We have that chance for severe weather. Kansas City, Chicago, Detroit. We are watching for you, hail and wind, the biggest threats. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but it doesn't look like the ideal scenario for that today. We're timing out these storms through the afternoon hours. That line of storms goes through, so if not during the game, maybe on your way home, Kate, it could slow down the trek through Chicago.
Yeah, we're going to see problems there, but how about somewhere else as well? You may be trying to squeeze in one last day at the beach on this last weekend of summer. This is a look at Tybee Island, Georgia. Not bad looking right now. You can see, though, look at the leaves. Look at the palm fronds blowing, an indication that we do have some thunderstorms we're going to be watching. Let's talk about the coastal thunderstorms that we're going to be seeing this weekend, because we are going to see some. Here's what we've got going on, though. This could affect some football games as well. It's not just at the beach. Look at this. Hit or miss thunderstorms. The Clemson Tigers versus the Florida State Seminoles. 78 degrees, hit or miss thunderstorms at 8 o'clock in Tallahassee later on tonight, so be aware of that. That could be some problem. That could be a problem area for us, and here's why. This is what I love. We've got something amazing going on with the weather. Yeah, that's right. Look at this low. You can see the spin here on the radar, but the question is, does this low become tropical or not? Regardless, it's pulling in a lot of moisture. Fort Myers, you are about to get soaked. Absolutely soaked. Tybee Island, you've got that rain going on that's just offshore as well. This is going to be hanging out here, but the deal is that it is not a warm core system. Look at this wetness that is coming in here to the coastal Carolinas as well. So we've got a bit of that going on. But like I said, the thing here is it is not a warm core system. So this is a cold core system. It is right on the cusp there that we could see a little bit of a potential. There's a slight chance, a slim chance that this could become tropical in nature. The National Hurricane Center was watching it yesterday, gave it a 20% chance. But this low, I think, is going to stay cold core. It is not going to stay tropical. Regardless, going to bring a lot of rain. You can see the dry side. Atlanta, you're in that. Montgomery, Birmingham, you're in that. But if you're on the wet side of the system, you're going to feel it. How this formed is we have this lingering cold front here. We have this little dip in the jet stream. That kind of amped up the energy and the spin in the atmosphere, which is how we had this low develop. And so this is going to hang out along this stalled out front. It does mean increased rain in the southeast for today. So you are going to see those increased showers and thunderstorms. And we're going to see that cold front sweep across the east coast. That's going to mean that these showers and thunderstorms are going to be on the move just a little bit. Mark?
And Kate, of course, it is the weekend, so a lot of fun going on, and the music is as hot as the weather this weekend in Atlanta. John Mayer, Lorde, Imagine Dragons, just some of the big acts kicking off Music Midtown. That was last night in Piedmont Park. This is, woo! Yeah, during the Imagine Dragons concert. Maybe I'll do a stage dive. Maybe they'll catch me. Whatever. Everyone is adding into the music scene, and the weather has been great, too. That is for sure. Tonight, Zac Brown Band, Eminem, Greg Allman, some really big acts at Music Midtown. And of course, here's the look at Atlanta right now. You have some clouds out there, maybe a couple of sprinkles, can't completely rule it out. But you know what? It's not going to be too bad across the area for Music Midtown. Maybe a few clouds. Here's that forecast, Kate.
Yeah, it doesn't look too shabby. You know, we've got about 80 degrees this afternoon. I was sure to get in some pool time in Atlanta yesterday before fall kicks in, and I think it'll be a good day to do that if you're going out to Music Town or wherever you're heading this weekend.
Yeah, just can't believe that fall's knocking on the doorstep. We're going to be talking about that a lot this show, and you know what? There's lots of fun stuff going on. How about this? It's the Music City and Wine Festival in Nashville. You're fine throughout the show, throughout the day, I should say. Temperatures in the low 80s this afternoon, maybe low 70s later on tonight.
I would love to be there.
Right?
That sounds like fun. Another place I'd love to be, LA. Look at this. You've got the Sunset Strip Music Festival going on, and things look pretty nice. At least you're not in the 90s like you were just last week.
Yeah, absolutely. So beautiful stuff. And you're going to really want the beautiful weather up in the Adirondacks this weekend. It's the largest hot air balloon festival in New York.
And there is one very special balloon that is making an appearance. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. You know, you don't even need hot air to fly that one. It just uses the force.
So are we supposed to have...
Here it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You get sick, you can't breathe through your nose. Suddenly, you're a mouth breather. A mouth breather. How do you sleep like that? You dry up, your cold feels even worse. Well, put on a Breathe Right strip and shut your mouth. Cold medicines open your nose over time, but add a Breathe Right strip and pow, it instantly opens your nose up to 38% more. So you can breathe and do the one thing you want to do. Sleep. Add Breathe Right to your cold medicine. Shut your mouth and sleep right.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tomorrow at noon on the Weather Channel.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson DC59 Motorhead? Before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush power to outclean the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
Sure wish you guys would bring layaway back.
Actually,
that way I can split my payments up into like little bite-sized chunks. Yeah, I mean, you feel me, right?
Yeah. Sir?
Oh.
Layaway's back with no opening fee. Backed by Savings Catcher. Walmart.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
At some point, no one was coming to help us. We needed to help ourselves.
A nightmare vacation has finally ended for a group of firefighters and their families from Illinois. Trapped in a hotel in Cabo for days without power. Some of the firemen even stayed up at night to block their hotel rooms from looters. The resort town of Cabo San Lucas is still trying to recover from Hurricane Odile. Locals are desperate for food and supplies as big parts of the region are still without water and electricity. Tourists have struggled all week just trying to get home. NBC's Joe Fryer is in Cabo with more.
This popular destination perched on a peninsula is no longer a magnet for tourists.
Cabo's destroyed, completely destroyed. There's nothing left.
A swift punch by Hurricane Odile was felt up and down the coast, a night Lauren Van Horn won't forget.
Really horrifying. It's a really high-pitched whistle and lots of banging noises as things are flying and hitting. We could hear pieces of the roof falling off, being ripped off.
At a private airport, hangars were leveled and planes twisted like aluminum cans. After major looting this week, the police and military now stand guard over stores and gas stations. Power is out, resorts are closed, and tourists are fleeing. Van Horn waited in line for 6 hours at the airport before catching a flight to Los Angeles.
We were on a Delta plane that fit about 150 passengers, and it was amazing to see them and get on that plane.
Throughout the week, tens of thousands of tourists have come here to the Los Cabos airport looking for a way out. Now, finally, the long lines here have vanished as those looking to escape have been evacuated by plane.
We're going home.
After catching flights on military and commercial aircraft, many tourists returned home to the United States. Nick and Ashton Forsyth are back in Chicago, and the first thing they'll do...
hug the kids.
Hugs and not let go. We're here at the airport, which was hit hard by the hurricane. This is the kind of damage we've seen just about everywhere we've gone. But here at the airport, some good news. It appears nearly all of the international tourists, including Americans who are trying to fly out of this battered paradise, have been evacuated. However, we just ran into a small group of 4 people who say they are still trying to catch a flight today to get back to Sacramento. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much. We know that it's chaotic there on the ground, but here's a live look at the beautiful Cabo San Lucas. Right now, it's gorgeous. We know that we need this weather, though, to continue those cleanup efforts. We have some good news to pass along as far as Tropical Storm Polo is concerned, because this is expected to pass just to the south of Cabo San Lucas later on today. Let's get right to those graphics, if we could, so that we could show people what's going on with Cabo San Lucas. Or and Polo and what's going on there. There's what we've got going on with this tropical update. You'll notice that Polo has been sheared off. Those winds from the east to the west, pushing those thunderstorms to the southwest. So as this passes near the Baja Peninsula, most of those thunderstorms going to be staying south of the peninsula. Now, you could still see a few rain bands there. Winds still at 45 miles an hour with this storm, but this is really great news for an area that is still trying to recover. Taking a look at that satellite imagery there, you can see how it's been sheared off, those storms on the southwest edge. This is expected to quickly dissipate in the coming days as it gets over more hostile winds and colder temperatures.
All-you-can-eat pancakes, everyday value slam, build your own chicken wraps, or loaded breakfast sandwich, only $4 each.
Good eye, and very budget conscious of you.
Does that mean I can get that new laptop?
How about a shake instead?
Welcome to Denny's.
Denny's, welcome to America's Diner.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Your Halloween come to life. Twizzler has your tricks and treats with Twizzlers. The twist you can't resist.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad.
And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Maybe traveling for work sounds glamorous, but have you been on an airplane lately?
Man, this thing's called onion. It's good, though.
I really wouldn't survive it without this scarf. It's like a little bit of home I can stuff in my bag. And I have Tide plus Febreze, which now gets it fresher for longer, so I can stay happy even when... Do you need a napkin?
Yeah. Napkin?
Oh. Oh, my gosh.
It's getting ripe in here, huh?
Tide plus Febreze for the amazing clean of Tide plus freshness that lasts 7 days.
What Duluth Trading Wild Boar mocks feel like. What Duluth Trading Wild Boar mocks grip like. Duluth Wild Boar mocks with no slip grip. Comfy like a fuzzy bunny. Grippy like a big bad boar. Get a pair. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your...
If you struggle with back pain, you have the power to turn it off with this.
New Smart Relief from Icy Hot. Turn on relaxing pulses that quickly block even chronic back pain. It's wireless, reusable, and easy to use.
Turn on Smart Relief and turn off pain.
For diarrhea, you take Kaopectate. But for heartburn, gas, indigestion, upset stomach, or nausea, you also take Kaopectate. Kaopectate caplets, like our liquid, relieve diarrhea and soothe your stomach for relief of all those symptoms. Kaopectate, one and done.
Lease this 2014 ATS for around $299 a month. Visit AutoNation Cadillac in West Palm Beach or Ed Moore's Cadillac in Delray for this attractive offer.
Bree 1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
See why the buzz on Fat Guys in the Woods, the Weather Channel's hit survival series, is getting bigger and bigger. Victory! A new episode Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A sad story here. The body of a missing Texas sheriff deputy has been found. Senior Deputy Jessica Hollis's body was pulled from Lake Austin yesterday. She was checking a low water crossing when she was swept away in her patrol car by flooding. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to show you just how dangerous a couple of inches of water can be when there is flooding where you are. And of course, we've been following a lot of flooding over the past couple of weeks tied to the tropics, which has been extraordinarily active across the Pacific side and not so much in the Atlantic, although we have had some big storms. Well, we want to talk here in the lab with Dr. Greg Postel about that kind of dichotomy of the season so far.
That's a great way to put it, Mark. And you can see on this map that we've got the tracks of the tropical storms and hurricanes in each basin. And the red lines are the Pacific tropical storms and hurricanes, and the white lines, the Atlantic tropical storms and hurricanes. hurricanes, Mark, and look at the difference between the two.
Yeah, just a massive year across the Pacific. And as this season was kind of leading in, we were talking about how there was going to be this huge El Nino, and that's why we weren't going to see a lot of Atlantic storms. But that never really materialized the way, so it seems like we got the right forecast for the wrong reason.
There are some aspects of the El Nino that really haven't showed up yet.
Yeah.
There's some pieces of it that have, but you're right. Where did this sort of discrepancy come from? And you can kind of go back in history and sort of dig into the upper level data, and here's at least part of the puzzle, I think, that needs to be looked at. At the jet stream level, we found that the area here over the Pacific, there was much stronger divergence than average, so that helped promote atmospheric lift and thunderstorm and even tropical development.
Yeah,
and likewise.
On the other hand, we had the Atlantic, where there was very weak convergence, and that wasn't going to help develop storms.
No, that helps sink, the atmospheric motions were sinking a lot over the Atlantic, and this is kind of feeding back on the atmospheric stability, where here the air is more unstable, it's more humid, and here it's more stable and drier. So very, very different air masses here, and this may have had something to do with it. Of course, the feedback of the systems themselves is also in this picture, but still, this gives you an idea.
And of course, that led to very warm temperatures in the Pacific Ocean, and that helped too. So, Kate, a lot that we follow when it comes to forecasting for a whole season of tropics.
Oh, yeah, and every hurricane season, we want to remind you how to prepare your house and your family ahead of time. But what about after the storm? Meteorologist Keith Carson talked with Nationwide insurance expert Pete Lord to find out what needs to be insured before it's too late.
Well, most people don't think about insurance until it's too late and they already need it. And if you're in a hurricane-prone area, you might want to start thinking about that right now. Joining us now is Pete Lure, Associate Vice President of Claims for Nationwide. And Pete, you're going to guide us through what you can do before, during, and after a storm. Let's start with before.
Sounds good. We recommend that you read your policy, fully understand what is covered, what may not be covered. If there's any ambiguity, we recommend getting in contact with your agent to have it fully explained to you. Also, you want to make sure what your deductible and the policy coverages fit your needs.
All right, thanks, Pete. And we always tell people to have their homes and belongings ready before a storm. What else can they be doing?
Well, one of the hardest things to do is remember what you had in your house. We recommend go ahead now and inventory your personal property, all your contents. It's easy to videotape and do a record of what you have. One of the things I personally do is I staple my receipts on the big purchases right to the owner's manual, so I keep track of when, where, and how much I paid for the item. And it helps with that inventory list in case you have at the time of a loss.
A very organized man. Now, what should people know up front about what is and what is not covered in a hurricane situation?
Well, it really depends on the type of policy you have, because there's a lot of different policies out there. And again, what we recommend is get with your agents, make sure that you have the coverage you need and the policy that fits best with what your needs are.
All right, thanks, Pete. Appreciate you joining us. Some great advice.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Keith. Well, more rain is coming down in the southwest today, and it will surely mean more flash flooding in the region. So we are taking a moment to make sure you know what to do. We're going to go step by step to show you how to survive. Plus, storms are firing up today and can make a mess of your weekend plans. Find out when the weather could take a nasty turn where you live. We're going to be seeing that in the southeast, as well as in the great state of Texas. You'll see some of that. How about New York City? How are you looking this morning? You've got some clouds around. So what are we going to see in the Northeast? We're going to talk about what you can plan ahead for with your weekend.
Weather Ready, brought to you by Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Shake it, groove it.
Sensitive bladder? Never miss a chance to dance just because you happen to sprinkle a little tinkle. Introducing a revolution in bladder leak protection from the experts in feminine protection. New Always Discreet for sensitive bladders. Up to 40% thinner for superior comfort. Absorbs 2 times more than you may need for dance all you want protection. New Always Discreet. Now bladder leaks can feel like no big deal. Because, hey, pee happens. Visit alwaysdiscreet.com for coupons and your free sample.
Want to know how hard it can be to breathe with COPD? It can feel like this. COPD includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Spiriva is a once-daily inhaled COPD maintenance treatment that helps open my airways for a full 24 hours. You know, Spiriva helps me breathe easier.
Spiriva Handihaler Tiotropium bromide inhalation powder does not replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops. Stop taking Spiriva and seek immediate medical help if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Other side effects include dry mouth and constipation.
Nothing can reverse COPD. Spiriva helps me breathe better.
Does breathing with COPD weigh you down? Don't wait to ask your doctor about Spiriva Handihaler.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Well, it's a college football Saturday, and we've got a great slate of games going on across the country.
Yeah, Mother Nature could crash the party here at the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where severe weather is possible for today's matchup against the Michigan Wolverines and the Utah Utes.
That's going to be a big one. Kickoff at 3:30. And how about this as a fact? Michigan was hoping to use a drone to fly in the game ball to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the school's aerospace department.
Yeah, but the FAA is nixing that plan, not because of the threat of bad weather, but because of a temporary flight restriction over the stadium on game days.
And I think most stadiums have flight restrictions, unless they're doing a flyover.
With
everything else is banned.
Blue Angels, yeah.
It was a good attempt. The 2-1 Michigan Wolverines taking on the Utes at home at 3:30. And you know what? The weather looks pretty good there right now. Lots of sunshine. You got the breeze going. The trees are moving around. Maybe wind being a factor for a couple of those kickoffs.
Yeah, let's check out how the radar looks, because it is looking glorious. It's not broken. It's just nothing on it. Looking really good there. But let's go ahead ahead and talk about what we've got as far as that thunderstorm forecast goes.
Yeah, you know, we're following a line of storms moving through the Midwest. Some scattered storms certainly possible. You're in the red zone. Detroit, Chicago, Kansas City. Hail and wind, the biggest threat today. Maybe an isolated tornado, although that is not the biggest threat. But we do have that cold front kicking up the storms, Kate.
And guess who will be one of tens of thousands of fans packing the stands at Michigan Stadium today? Our very own Stephanie Abrams.
That was good. The halftime show is weather related, so Steph is going to be a part of it, and that is awesome, and that is always fun, being down on the field level. It's always it's a different view when you're down on the grass.
Yeah, well, I guess I have a career if I ever want to leave weather.
Right.
I can go and be a stadium announcer.
A soccer goal.
Stadium announcer. Goal. Okay, 3:30 p.m. kickoff. We said that a couple times for you so that you are prepared for that, and we could see some spotty thunderstorms in the forecast.
Yeah, wind the biggest factor here, though. Out of the southwest, close to 20, and far and away, wind is the biggest impact for football games.
That right after lightning.
Well,
because then it doesn't happen.
Right, but during the game,
yeah,
wind is much worse to play in. Of course, welcome back to Weather Center Live.
Yeah, we love seeing your pictures and how you're spending your weekend.
And so we've been using the hashtag #YourWeekend on all the social media outlets so you can send in your pictures to us. And look at this one, a beautiful sunrise at Topsail Beach in North Carolina. George sent us this picture saying it was his last day of vacation as he heads back to New York today. And man, it's going to be tough to walk away from that scene, isn't it, Kate?
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful one. And we have, of course, everything coming to an end as far as summer goes. Minneapolis, you're going out on a nice note. Look at the beautiful, beautiful weather you have going on. But we want to get you right to what's going on here because we have the Twins taking on the Cleveland Indians, and we could see some severe weather in the area. So here's a look at that forecast. You know, the Minnesota Twins, you did win yesterday against Cleveland Indians. Today, this game is going to be at 7:10 p.m., 73 degrees. Hit or miss thunderstorms. There's about a 50-50 shot of you seeing some of that. Let's talk about what's going on right now on radar because Des Moines, you're about to get a little bit wet here. We've got some showers and even a severe thunderstorm warning right now in effect. You can see that south of Omaha crossing over into Iowa. So or actually into northern Missouri, we're going to see that. So just north of St. Joe, you're going to be seeing that thunderstorm move through that area. So this is all tracking very clearly off to the east. But what does that mean for your forecast? Well, it means that you're going to be seeing some more of these thunderstorms. Here's what's happening. So this jet stream dipping south. We've got this moisture out of the south, and that means that we have all the ingredients in place to see some additional thunderstorms. What's going to happen is that we're going to see this cold front that with this low that formed along that jet stream go ahead and advance off to the southeast. So that's the direction of the thunderstorms today. Here's the meat of the story. Here's what we want to get you to. The fact that we have severe thunderstorms, the possibility of them from Kansas City all the way through Michigan today, and heading into tonight, you're going to continue at that risk, including places like Chicago, Detroit. You could see some thunderstorms today, scattered thunderstorms as far south as Cincinnati with this system. So it is going to be a little bit of a wet one. And we are going to see some late week storms in the northeast in addition to this. So that jet stream continues to dip south. That dip continues to move east. So we're going to see a very similar setup tomorrow in the northeast. That's where we're going to see some more of those showers and thunderstorms. So this is an in-depth story that we're going to continue to watch over the next several days. You'll notice that risk includes places like Pittsburgh and even Buffalo as we head into tomorrow. Mark?
And that cold front, Kate, goes all the way down into the southern plains, where more rain and flooding is expected in parts of Texas today. But before we get to that forecast, we want to extend our sympathy back to Travis County, Texas. The body of Deputy Jessica Hollis has been found, and she had been missing since Thursday night when she was swept away by floodwaters while trying to warn people of the danger. But she couldn't beat the danger herself, and she was a highly trained member of the dive team.
I've heard about the floodwaters, but I've never experienced anything like this before. Jessica was a strong swimmer. So that goes to show you that a strong swimmer is no competition with fast moving water.
And if you get caught in one of those situations, it takes deceptively little amounts of water to put you in that danger. I mean, her car was swept away. There is some higher terrain. Apparently, she tried to climb out of the car and get to those rocks. And look at this, also in Austin, Texas, Thursday night. We have video of people going into water like that. I mean, that truck trying to get out of that dangerous situation, spinning his wheels, and you know, rescuers try to pull him out with a rope. And so he's walking across here. But look, the water's actually not that deep, and I use that deep in air quotes on purpose. You can see the water line's about to his knee, but that's all it takes. His car was stuck, and he actually could have been put in an even more dangerous situation. I mean, look at this. It really doesn't take much water. 2 feet of flowing water can absolutely float a vehicle, and it's, of course, very difficult to judge the depth of that water. And plus, you don't need that much water to knock you down. So once you try to get out of that flooded car, just 6 inches of flowing water is enough to knock a person off their feet. So we spend so much time showing you what not to do. How about this? A nice shout out to the driver of bus 314 from the New Caney School District near Houston. A big bus, maybe kids on it, right? Wisely seeing water over a road and having to do the big K-turn and find a different way around instead of driving over and through that water-covered road. So a good job there, and that's what we want you to do. Kate, over to you.
Yeah, shout out to the good ones. Thanks for keeping those kiddos safe. We appreciate it. Here's what's going on in Houston right now. You'll notice that it's not raining, but a little bit of moisture in the air, that's for sure. Take a look at this radar. I want to take you right to it so you know what's going on, because we do have some of this rain that has just been inundating this area near Abilene, right along I-20 here, heading out toward Midland, Odessa. You'll notice that this rain just isn't moving, so we've got a flash flood warning in place for this area. We've seen about 4.9 inches in the last 6 hours. That's how fast this rain is coming down. You'll notice that's even just a radar estimate, and that's not even where we've seen the most rain in this area. So that's just a small estimate for us there. This is south of Lubbock, and you'll notice that there's just not a lot of movement going on because this is a stalled out front, and this is leftover moisture from Odile. We're still seeing that kind of lingering in place, at least that remnant moisture, not direct, but some of that. So this stalled out front hanging out across the state of Texas, which means that we've got all this moisture coming in from both sides. It means that we're going to continue to see these showers that could cause flooding all the way through Monday, especially after this low forms. So this upper level disturbance is going to help with some of this moisture development, help with some of these showers and thunderstorms to become a little excessive at times, mostly in West Texas and then stretching up to portions of the Panhandle. But South Texas, you're going to see a little bit of that as well. And then heading out into New Mexico tomorrow. If you're in Albuquerque, you're going to be seeing some of that rain. El Paso, a good soaker for you. And that continues through New Mexico and out into Colorado by the time we go to Monday, Mark.
And Kate, temperatures now starting to drop. The days are getting shorter. Wouldn't you know it, it's starting to feel like fall out there. When we come back, we're going to show you around the country to tell you where the signs of the changing season are really showing up and just how much color is out there on those leaves.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
There's nothing I can't reach in my Subaru.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
Toaster strudel. More fruit in the filling. Yeah. Yeah. Warm, flaky, gooey. Toaster strudel.
Now with more fruit.
I mean, for the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking?
Freaky!
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
Walgreens knows that heartburn sufferers can sometimes find themselves at the corner of home cooking. And, I think that's enough. That's why Walgreens offers new Nexium 24-hour. Protection strong enough for whatever your day dishes out. Walgreens makes it easy to treat frequent heartburn with new Nexium 24-hour. Now get Nexium level protection without a prescription at the corner of happy and healthy.
3 vacuum cleaners, 3 paths of test dust. Only one has powerful suction without the hassle of a cord.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavors fully develop to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
If you suffer from a dry mouth, then you'll know how uncomfortable it can be. But did you know that the lack of saliva can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath? Well, there is Biotene, specially formulated with moisturizers and lubricants. Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy, too. Biotene, for people who suffer from dry mouth.
I got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond. Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 280. When the game's on the line.
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
And goodbye, summer, indeed. This is unfortunately the final weekend of summer. Lou Demers wrote this on his frosty windshield in North Yarmouth, Maine yesterday morning, where it was a balmy beginning of the day at 37. And of course, your car lets that heat out. You get that black body effect, and you can actually get frost on that window even without being down below freezing. And frost is just one of the signs that falls upon us. It actually starts at 10:29 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night. So set your alarms, 10:29 p.m. Eastern. Of course, that means Tuesday, the first full day of fall. Hard to believe, right? And you know what? Fall color is starting to pop across several portions of the country. Maybe not quite as much as what you're seeing here. It's spotty pops of color across much of New England, the Adirondacks in New York, maybe up towards northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire into Maine. We're also seeing some pops of color for the Rockies and out west. So, you know, you can find the color if you're trying to get it. We're not at peak yet. You've got time to plan that fall trip. And how about this? Another sure sign of fall. This guy. It's the Niz. Yeah, Tom Nizzle, our winter weather expert. He is going to return to the airwaves on Monday. So as fall comes in, we're already thinking about winter. And for good reason, right? Because, you know what, see you, Niz, we've got some cool temperatures on the way towards portions of the Midwest. Cooler temperatures even by the end of this weekend. So get ready for that, right? Right now, it's near 70 in Chicago. It's near 70 in Minneapolis. It's 72 in Des Moines. That said, there's a cold front knocking on the doorstep, and this front is going to bring down the cooler air. This front slides through the weekend. The winds shift around, so instead of the southerly winds bringing you some warmth, the northerly winds are cooling you right back down. And so the nighttime temperatures will be key. Again, today you get into the 70s and 80s, but by tomorrow, look at this, 64 Chicago, 67 in Detroit. So there's plenty of chilly temperatures still remaining, and that will continue into Monday as well. 62 for Detroit. That'll be the best you can do. As we take a look at Chicago, where your average high is 74, you take a big dip down tomorrow before you take that slow staircase back up to near average by Tuesday. Kate, over to you.
All right, well, myths and legends are common in the weather world, but most can be debunked by a good meteorologist. In Austin, Texas, science may actually support the I-35 curse.
Floodwaters ripped through Austin, Texas this week, just like they did in 2013 and 2011. You'd think that would be good news for a city fighting their worst drought in recorded history.
We're just that one big rainstorm away, and everything will be okay.
But you'd be wrong. This water is long gone.
The majority of that water all drained into the Colorado River here in Austin and then has gone downstream. It's headed toward the Gulf of Mexico.
Locals call it the I-35 curse.
Many times we'll see storms develop along the I-35 corridor, along the escarpment, and then track to the east. So areas from I-35 eastward tend to get a lot of rain, where areas to the west don't get as much.
Austin needs that rain to fall west of I-35 and fill their lakes. When it falls to the east of 35, it's gone.
I think one of the images that's most scary to me is the trickle of flow that's coming into Buchanan that literally is the water supply for 1 million people.
But is there really a curse?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
John Nielsen Gammon is the Texas state climatologist.
That's the place where basically the terrain in Texas starts becoming interesting. You go from fairly flat coastal plains to what we call the Texas Hill Country. And so there's an extra bit of uplift for any air that's moving from the southeast.
The I-35 corridor really parallels what's called the Balcones Escarpment, and that's sort of a gentle rise in the landscape of about 300 to 500 feet.
500 feet, separating millions of people from valuable drinking water.
Wow, so we really have that going on. Here's what we've seen in the last day as far as rain goes. It has all been on the west side of I-35 for the most part there. You'll notice that we had that area of flooding going on south of Lubbock near Abilene. And through Monday morning, we could see a lot more rain out in West Texas, up to 3 inches, Mark.
And on the heels of Odile, the Baja Peninsula was certainly keeping a close eye on Polo. It's a much weaker storm, and it's tracking westward. But will there still be impacts? Hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Postel is back, timing it all out for us.
Lowe's presents How to Work Out the Triceps.
Wow. Impress your guests. Your Choice bathroom faucets, now just $59 at Lowe's.
Hey, I like your ride. I just want to let you know, you can save a ton by switching to Progressive, just like Squirrel here. We offer great discounts, like responsible riders, paid in full, and homeowners. Making us #1 in motorcycle insurance. Isn't this romantic?
It was.
Going the distance to save you more. Now that's Progressive.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
Show me fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Tomorrow night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
for awesome.